Today I'm going to be sharing a story with you called Frida. It is written by Jonah Winter and illustrated by Anna Wan. An illustrator is someone who draws the pictures for a storybook, so an illustrator is an artist. If you remember me telling you, Frida Kahlo was a surrealist painter. She painted things that she saw or imagined in a dreamlike state. So this story is kind of told in that way. And things don't look very real. They look very dreamlike, but they are really how Frida felt and kind of what she was going through during her lifetime. And this is one of my favorite books about Frida Kahlo. It says Frida. And we could see her eyebrows because it's like the bird soaring. Frida enters the world. For little Frida, the world is Mexico. Her house is a blue house. It is in the town of Coyoacan. Frida's father is an artist and a photographer. He teaches her how to use a paintbrush. Frida's mother takes care of 6 daughters. Often she is tired. Often Frida is lonely, even though she has sisters. Enter stage left, Frida's imaginary friend. Her name is also Frida. And I want you to notice the dreamlike quality to these pictures, just like the real artwork of Frida Kahlo. They play games. All of a sudden, Frida falls very ill. She's in bed for months. There's something wrong with one of her legs. Even her imaginary friend can't help her or cheer her. That's when Frida teaches herself how to draw. Drawing saves her from being sad. After Frida gets well, she still wants to make art, so she paints little paintings. They are copies of other paintings. Painting onto photographs is what Frida's father does for a living. He teaches her how to do this too. Frida also paints things she sees through a microscope. She loves looking at things very closely. At school, Frida studies science. She is bored. School is too easy. One day, Frida is riding the bus home from school. A horrible accident comes. A trolley runs into the bus. Frida almost dies. In the hospital, it is painting that saves her once again. Painting is like her imaginary friend. It is there for her whenever she wants it. It keeps her company. It keeps her from giving up hope. Notice the dreamlike quality of Frida dancing in the clouds at a time in her life when she couldn't even get out of bed. After the accident, life will never be the same for Frida. She will walk with a cane when she is able to walk, and her body will hurt always. And look how she's representing her pain in this surrealistic picture. But Frida doesn't cry or complain. Instead of crying, she paints pictures of herself crying. When she can't leave her bed, she paints in bed. When her whole torso is put in a cast, she paints on the cast. Nothing can stop Frida from painting. Because she's so often alone, unable to leave her house, she has to use her imagination. She paints what she sees in her heart, on top of what she sees with her eyes. It's almost like painting on photographs, like she did when she was a little girl. She paints little magical scenes with words at the bottom. All over Mexico, people paint these kinds of scenes. Sometimes they are scenes of accidents with angels coming to the rescue. They are like prayers for people who are sick. They are called ex-votos. Frida paints ex-votos of herself when she is sick or in pain. Frida imitates no one in her style. Her paintings are like nothing else. In museums, people still look at them and weep and sigh and smile. She turns her pain into something beautiful. It is like a miracle. Viva Frida! Long live Frida! I hope you enjoyed that story, and we will continue with our lesson real soon. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed our story about Frida Kahlo. So let's get started with what we're going to be doing today. You are going to need the following. You are going to need your portrait that you started last time that you went over with the black marker. And I'm going to put mine right here so you can see that. You are also going to need markers and a pair of scissors. So pause the video and go get your stuff. Welcome back. Today we are going to be coloring our self-portraits, and we are going to do this with markers. And when you're using markers, it's important to use the fat side of your marker when coloring, because if you use the tip, you don't get that nice, it looks scribbly, but if you use that fat side of your marker, you really get a very nice line that doesn't look scribbly, and you won't see the white paper through your coloring. You want to make sure you really don't see it happening. We also want to make sure that we color our skin tones, because nobody has a skin tone that is white like this sheet of paper. So I have Crayola skin tone markers, but I also have crayons that come in skin tone. If you don't have these at home, that is fine. My husband's trying to get my attention from inside. I'm so sorry. You can use these in your regular crayon box. There are usually these colors: browns, peaches, tans, all different colored skin tones that you can find in your crayon box, because we want to make sure that we color our self-portrait to look like us. So I chose kind of a peachy color, and again, I don't want to use the tip of my marker. I really want to use that fat side of my marker to create a lot of good coverage without showing the white paper through. You're going to color your entire self-portrait until it looks a little something like this. You see, I used the fat side of my marker to really create no white showing through, and I picked a skin tone color that I thought, excuse me, whoops, best matched my skin tone. Then, using my scissors, I am going to carefully cut out my portrait, including my shirt, so that I have something like this. And then we're going to stop. We're going to take it and put it aside till our next lesson, when we are going to be using some really cool pastels to create our background, excuse me, our background. So when you get to this point, put it aside somewhere safe, and we'll continue our lesson next time. See you guys.